Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We are talking about a celebrity and we're talking about a very public story to draw lessons from it. In a surprising turn of events, 3 years after their highly publicized and highly anticipated reunion, Nigerian superstars Peter and Paul Okoye, who made up the pop group psquare, have split up again. According to the report, Paul Okoye revealed that he has parted way with his twin brother. He also added that Peter said he was no longer interested in the group. Now, of course, the reply came out. Both of them, one has granted interview, one wrote an open letter. We on social media have sat down as friends and fans of the twins, and we decided that this is worth discussing. It was highly worrisome for me as a mother of twin boys that what could they have gotten wrong? What could they have done better? Who could have mediated the situation better? And so we'll be discussing it from different angles, not really castigating or talking down on their relationship, but drawing lessons for all of us as parents and as a society on how we can deal, most importantly, with sibling rivalry and engendering unity within the family unit. To join the conversation, you can call us on 0810-764-1679, or you can call us on 090-240-63440 and tweet to us, or you can go to YouTube, whichever platform suits you. We'd love to hear from you. So here we are, Peter and Paul, our fantastic duo that we grouped to as teenagers, well, not teenagers, as young adults who were shutting down stadiums everywhere, had a breakup in their relationship. At first, there was allegation that it was the wives that caused the breakup. It was after they got married, then later it was their senior brother, then later different things have come up. But what is your perception of that relationship? And when you saw the letter from Peter, what was your opinion?
Okay.
So, go on.
Yes, so first of all, I think just to give a little context, Paul had been on radio talking about how Peter had called EFCC on him. So there were allegations of some misappropriation of funds or royalties that were supposed to have come to them. And, you know, when we first heard that story, it was like, what is so terrible that, you know, this could not be sorted amongst brothers, because there are 3 of them. And that that's on one hand. On the second hand, why would there be such an issue that there's money that's supposed to be coming to someone for the work that you have both, you know, done, and somehow someone is getting, you know, and when Paul told the story, it seemed like he was unjustly accused of that. And, you know, which garnered some sympathy. Now, Peter comes out with an open letter saying that the way that story was told, first of all, it wasn't even him that went to FCC. It was not him that was reported. He had heard stories about royalties, and it was Jude, the older brother, who seems to be a recurring person when it comes to their feuds. And, you know, the part that got me, he talked about the fact that when his brother is giving interviews, you know, he would talk about him, how he did this concerning the group, how he wrote this song, how it was his lyrics or it was his writing, you know, or it was his song that did better. And he says, you know, if you are so great by yourself, how come today, you know, since we've parted ways, there's nothing that you've done solo that has blown? The reason that it was great, it was said that way. Yeah. It was said that way. Yeah, what did you hear?
What I read was that separately, we don't shut down the stadiums.
Yeah.
No, that's even the top.
But that's
more
the
detail at the bottom.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So what have you done as a solo artist that has blown? That's the same thing.
If you were that good.
Yes, if you were that good by yourself. So obviously, the power or the love that we had or the magic is because we worked together. So, and then he said that he would always talk about us, them together. He's never put anything just for himself. And then he goes ahead to mention some of his songs that he had written or he was like the major contributor of, that he did together, and he did so well, but that he never says that. So for me, you know, that is the more important part of this conversation. So one, there's an older brother in between these twins, and there's an important role that that older brother can play and has played. And so that brother has decided, according to them, according to what's going back, yes, according to Peter, that is, seems to be someone who's taking sides, seems to be someone who, has found a way to sort of cut off one twin away from the other. And I understand when it comes to sibling rivalry, some of the things that triggered this sort of thing is sibling rivalry could be competition. And sometimes this competition comes from the fear or the sense that maybe someone is treated more as a favorite than the other, The jealousy could also be from that, like maybe there's something that is seen. And from the conversations, it seems that Jude and Paul think that Paul is the better singer or the better lyricist or the writer. And I can imagine how Peter would feel sidelined. That's on one hand. Then if truly there's any money that's been coming in and only Jude and Paul know about it, I can imagine how that will hurt, Peter. So in situations where siblings have an issue, you will be hoping that they have someone who is neutral, which in this case would have even been that bigger brother of theirs. But in this case, they have to look for someone who's neutral, maybe outside the family, a therapist, a pastor, someone that they both respect, that can sit down with them and talk to them and listen to their stories individually and, and then tell them the truth regarding what is happening. There's no way it can help them if families take sides with this sort of situation. I'm sure that neither of them is like 100% right at all times. But you should be able to place the blame where it is rightly due and give the praise where it's rightly due. So it allows for, it allows for a better relationship amongst siblings. I have siblings too, and I understand that these are the little things that cause issues.
Yeah, so like I said, Mariam was taking us through from what's possible causes, possible solutions to the conclusion. However, there are many angles that she touched on that can be fleshed out a whole lot more. I'm taking it as a mother because I don't have siblings, and I'm looking at my children and I'm wondering, could I have done something wrong? Nima, when you look at, and I don't want us to play blame game, but still from what we have seen on social media, who do you feel could have handled or created this rift that we are seeing between these two superstars?
Okay, so sibling rivalry is not new. And then siblings fight is even more subtle but different. It happens more. So after Ramadan, my husband, I would hear him on the phone with his brothers, they're going back and forth, but they're still brothers. So those kind of things, women just know to go and sit one corner when they said to una, come back. In my marriage, I would have witnessed a lot of them. I need to come and say, Nima, you're too hard on your siblings. No, we're not there when we're born. Don't put your mouth. But you come in and say something negative like,
who are you?
My sibling now, and my blood now, So siblings fight. And as a mother, you know it, you see it. We all have it going. If my two kids go at each other, I was just thinking of one experience this morning. The small one will not talk for hours when the senior one is ranting and doing all la. Then one liner will just come and she cannot cope with it. And all of us now, this one, our ancestor, is returning. So just leave him. And siblings fight. We see it. As a mother, you will not expect it to become omoyausa, that it will become rivalry, that it will be so unending, it's difficult, it's irreconcilable. It's not possible. Siblings, their blood, their ties will always supersede no matter whatever difference is being discussed per time. So I would know how, if their mom were around, how sad she would be to see where they are today, constantly in public with their fights and differences. And the immaturity of Jude as a big brother is a complete case of anagbaya within family. No, they have them. It's a complete case. One who doesn't know how... I don't say a sister.
We don't hear about...
They're twins, and there's a big brother.
Yes.
And because of that shared uterus or whatever, that twin, Jude should know better and what he should prioritize in any difference. We've heard them talk about who dances, who sings. When siblings share property, those things don't feature. The world should not know who writes, who sings. It is called collaboration. I run a partnership. People don't even know I don't litigate. It works so well because it's a partnership. Your strength, my weakness. My strength, your weakness. And we're doing so well. It's how many years now? 8 years of the firm. Two people who understand each other, has each other's back. That's how partnerships work. So that's how you bring it into family and sibling business. But here now, one person is enjoying the constant bickering, the constant,
maybe someone is
telling one over the other. We will see it when they call it, there's this thing called head of family. When a head of family is failing to manage things, you hear the strength of each person feature.
Yeah.
When you have a head of family in our traditional, they always have this big battle. You know, as head of family, you don't come and say Ramatu is something. No, it is always the strength of the group that you highlight, and you must cover up. If the two of them want to say, no, I think I'm the better, you say, no, you need each other. As everyone, he's the one I have all the blame for here. Even if he comes and says, okay, I've proven that I'm not, that your twin brothers, not just siblings now, are constantly bickering and your name constantly features. It means that you can't hold the home
like
as an elder leadership. I'm telling you, following the death of your parents, it's a failure that you should sit in the corner of your room, clean face. You know, sometimes when you put two things for children to share and the other one, they're fighting, and you now come, are you leading your sibling? The person will now give up. My other sister does it all the time. If me and the immediate elder one starts fighting, it's okay, you can take my own. And we do not have shame. We used to take it so fast that she had nothing to eat. And now that we're older, we'll just come and say, sister, no go kukumai. We'll just take it. We are constantly taking. We can start a fight just to take. But, you know, as an elder, you give whatever you have to give for the unity of home. It's important.
Okay, so, yeah, for me, I will say that since their mother died, they've just been in the news a lot of times and all. And that's why I asked if they have a sister. Because I'm sure if they have a sister, the sister will have been able to...
Yeah, women would know.
Yes, there's a way women will come in and be able to...
women. So partial.
Yes, they have a way because they won't be pride, ego, it won't come to play much like that. If there's a woman, she will come and help sort things out. And I can say maybe from the way they've been talking, I can see that there's, you know, when we're growing up, there's that competition that our parents kind of put in us. Like when you go to school, if you don't come first, you don't come second, you don't come third, there's always a problem. So they, most times parents will tilt their love, you know, to that child that does very well in school and is doing very well and all. You see the competition, you see that they love that child better than the other. So now, since psquare, they are coming out and saying that, oh, me, I'm the one that writes, that sings, that does all of those things. Maybe while he was growing, you know, they pumped into his head that, you are doing very well, you are the best, you are the leader of the group, you are the one holding this group. And maybe that got into his head. And that's why he's doing all of those things. So I would say competition is a major thing from childhood. So I'm thinking that maybe from childhood, there has been an issue with that, with them. And so they are now bringing it out. I'm just hoping that, because in a video I saw where the former NLC, Labour LP, Peter Obi, went to, I think he went to talk to them, but they've not dropped any message. They've not said what he went to tell them and all, but we could see that they came out and they're happy and talking and all. So from the parent side, we contribute to this feud between siblings.
So, I am of the opinion that obviously from what we've discussed, there's failure in leadership. I also feel like there is issue from the parenting perspective as well. This morning, as usual, my last born came to report one of the twins. And my conversation was, why are you reporting him to me? What do you expect me to say? Why did he punch you? What did you say? You should find a way to resolve with your brother. If he punched you, you want him to apologize. That punch pained me. Say you are sorry. So I am coaching him to handle and relate with his brother without feeling the need to come and report to me, because you must build independence within each children. Because you cannot, a mother, when you said maybe you started the mother died, you don't plan to be in their lives forever. So you must prepare them to relate with each other when you are not there and defend and support each other regardless of who tries to come in between them. Then I remember the beautiful story Auntie Annie shared, and I can share it because she shared it on live television, about how when her father died, the family members came to meet her and met Sheun separately, met Femi separately, trying to sow seeds of discord. You are better, you're a better manager. Femi, you are a better singer. Why don't you stake the shrine? Why are you still with Yeni? YK is just a dancer, but you are the singer, so you should be the one trying to divide them. And Anthony said that she had to stand around that they want to divide and rule us, because any revenue that comes in, if one person is not talking to another, then they'll be able to, all the royalties will not be, it will be shared inequitably. So she said she had to fight. They did family meeting. They will fight among themselves. We have been on the show here that Sheun will say something. We would say, can you say, no, I cannot, it's not for outside. I will call my brother and talk to my brother inside the house.
Of a woman.
Why? It's not a power of a woman. It's leadership. Leadership doesn't have anything to do with gender. There can be divisive women, just as there are divisive men that will be dividing the relationship. So I feel that in this case scenario, somebody is benefiting from the crisis.
Yes.
Somebody is benefiting and making money from the challenges. If not, there won't be this constant rift between them that is being perpetuated consistently over time. I feel very, this one is very personal for me. I grew up watching them. I love their relationship, the way it looks, the way they dance together. It seems like they are synchronized. I've been struggling to get my children to be dancers. Why? Because you know when twins dance, especially identical twins, one will just flow, the second one will just collect it. My children don't know how to dance.
Allow them to be what they are good.
So I just feel this is like a very personal thing for me, and I strongly believe that you are stronger together. And I feel sad about where they are. I know Mariam wants to jump in with some observation as well. Let's hear. What do you?
Well, you sort of, spoke well on what I had written. I see what I wrote down was someone is definitely earning from their disagreement, and so that's what happens when you're not strong together. People would come in and take advantage of that disagreement, because it means that whatever it is that you were meant to earn together, whatever success was meant to come to both of you or to the family together, if you're not together, someone else is able to step in and take out of the blessings or the earnings or whatever it is that's happening. And I think that that's what is happening in this situation. I don't want to, we have not heard from the third brother, so I don't want to call out any names, but usually you find, even with friendships, people are having their friends, they're doing well, and then someone comes in and then makes it about, you are better than this person. I saw you, you're just hotter, you're just better, you're just more intelligent. Oh, you're just and all of a sudden you're creating a competitive situation that wasn't there in the first place. And what that happens, you introduce insecurities, you introduce issues. Okay.
No, not for you.
Okay. So you introduce insecurities, and so the other person now will be looking to the other to validate them. To assure them that I'm not. There's no issues. There are no issues right here. But if you're unable to validate that person, that relationship crumbles even further, and the person that has found their way into that relationship ends more. So I also do not want to blame any mother, any wives, sisters, even the older brother. I'm not blaming anybody, because we're now talking
adults.
of two adults. We are talking of two adults who are married, who have children. They're growing a family. We need to talk about, they need to take accountability and responsibility for the relationship that it is that they have right now. And they have to decide between themselves if they want to work on this relationship outside everyone. I think the only way that they can see a difference or a change in this relationship is that they take everyone out. Wife is not about you. Brother is not about you. Whatever grievances or opinions you may have right now, we don't want to hear that. We just want to deal with this, just the two of us. And then once you're able to do that and build something or have some sort of code, you can come back to each other to know, if you hear anything here, I can come back to you to confirm. I heard this, can I come back to you and ask a question? Because some people don't even want you to ask a question. I heard something,
am I supposed because they've tried resolving these things like twice. They've had like two coming back, and yet they are still falling apart. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we will discuss if we should blame parents, siblings, or the outside voices that come in to sow seeds that are negative, disguised as compliments. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.